Hello, my name is Garrett Knight, and I attend Wichita State University where I'm working to get my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Music, focusing on cognitive musicology research. This project was also executed under three mentors here at Wichita State University. We have Dr. Mathilde Manon, Director of Linguistics, Dr. Courtney Long, Assistant Professor of Music Theory, and Dr. Aaron O'Brien, Assistant Professor of Communication Sciences and Disorders. This project was also performed as a part of the McNair Scholars Program. First, I want to say how much of an honor and how excited I am to be presenting at the 2025 APS Global Summit. I'm truly grateful for all of your interest in my research and what music can truly do. With this presentation, I will be separating the poster into these areas: our introduction and methodology, procedure, results, and then our discussion. Please feel free to ask any and all questions that are left unanswered by this presentation. First, we see that musical is a powerful container for psychological, emotional, and even physical responses. So with this, we want to look at three themes: psychological impact, emotional intelligence as a dimension of music perception, and evoking mental imagery. To do this, we look at two large and already existing primary views within the world of music cognition: our cognitivist, which is representing emotion rather than causing emotion, and then our emotivist, which induces or causes emotions. Looking at how music takes a person's culture, autobiography, and neurological build creates a single unified response. And so with this, we had 6 participants. We used an emotional intelligence assessment to better understand the pattern of emotional intelligence in connection to music perception. Following, we used a blindfold and noise cancellation headphones to prevent any external sensory stimuli. And so with this, each participant had 4 songs, and these songs fit under 5 broad umbrella categories. They're very emotionally vague. We have vitality, wonder, connection, tension, and longing. And so during each listening, participants were examined for subconscious physical responses to the music: breathing with the music, finger tapping, foot tapping, head nodding, stuff like that. And so following each individual song, the participant was asked, if this was a song in a movie montage, what would the montage look like? And this is so we can give some guidance without causing some biased answers. And so afterwards, after we gathered all the data, we followed Braun and Clark's 2022 thematic analysis of the interview responses, physiological responses, and then performed a cross-participant analysis. With that, we found 3 broad categories, and each were 2 themes that fit under those categories, totaling of 6. So our psychological scaffolding, we had emotional transformation, which is that ability to take personal struggles and turn it into a story of empowerment and resilience. And then nostalgia and escapism. This is that ability to use music as a way to evoke memories and then retreat into those experiences. And this allowed the participants to re-experience those memories. Going on to cultural resonance, we want to look at cultural influence. Ethnicity and upbringing had a direct and impactful part in the shaping of the mental imagery. Very big part. And then next, we want to look at nature and technology. Here, we saw patterns of natural sounds being used for references to pure and peaceful, whereas technology was used as both anxiety and refuge. Kind of interesting. And then moving on to our neural synchronization, we want to see duality and contrast, that ability of using 2 completely different emotions to describe the one being felt. And then lastly, somatic engagement. 100% of participants exhibited physical responses evoked by music. These mirrored the emotional arc each participant went through during the listening. So let's talk about it. Using what we found in the results, we can say that music is a container, causal of emotions rather than merely representing what can be felt. It does show that it is much more complex than a single response from each individual person. With the differences in cultures, perception, and autobiography, no listening is the same. This also means that even listening to the same song twice will never cause the same exact response. This leads into the development of the multidimensional unified synchronization effect, also known as muse theory. using three broad categories of the results and connecting them with already existing cognitive and neurological theories, such as our temporal binding mechanism, like Haggard and Cole in 2007. This takes all the responses received from music and creates it into one unified singular response. Then if we move on to our hierarchical predictive integration, which is it's a neural theory that has been developed by the community. And so Koning and Jamshanad, they give a really good reference towards what this really is. This is that ability that predictions are based off of what is already personally known. So cultural experiences will cause different responses between listenings. And then lastly, we want to look at Carpenter and Grossberg's 2022 adaptive resonance threshold, what we call the ART scaffold. This threshold is a threshold of familiarity. The more familiar, the easier it is to passively listen, white noise. The less familiar, however, requires more active listening, causing a deeper immersion. This uses prediction and background to shape this point of immersion. And so, with that, I want to thank you for your interest. And again, it is such an honor to be able to present at the APS Global this year. If you have any questions or comments that were not answered, please feel free to contact me on the connected messaging or my personal contact information. I have also provided department affiliations that supported me throughout this project. Thank you again, and I hope you all have an absolute blast at APS Global.